Hey, guess who's back? So look, you guys, this is what's so funny. So, and I think I have it on some other part of my channel, but I talk about the things you need in order to set up your in-home studio and like how to, get your shit popping or whatever, right? By the way, I got one of my favorite Peeps shirts. It says entrepreneur. This is by I Love What I Am, Motivational Apparel. It's one of my favorite clothing lines, actually run by a brown girl. I'll drop the link to that in the video below. So what was I saying? Oh my gosh. Okay, so 7 streams of income. So we're going to talk about the 7 streams of income. We're going to talk about what those are, what that means for you, and how you can leverage that shit right now while you still got an income. Okay? Oh, real quick, what I was saying in the beginning is that if you notice that my eyes are like beep, 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 beep. So what it is when I was telling you guys, I'll tell you like what you need to do in some studio. I still use my iPhone to shoot my video. I'm actually about to get a Canon, but for right now, you know what I'm saying? Shorty gonna use what she got. So I use my iPhone and I got it flipped the other way. I usually have the camera on the left side and tonight it's on the right side. I keep looking to the left. So I feel like I'm trying to remind myself like, hey girl, look to the right, girl. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's really crazy. I feel like I don't know, I either on a wild trip or I'm reading from a million places and none of that is true. All right. So Brown Girls Guide to working. All right. So first and foremost, I gotta bust the myths of the 7 streams of income. And I'm so excited to tell y'all about this because I was hustle girl. And I'm still hustle girl. But check gang, hustle smarter. You know what I mean? Hustle smarter. All right, so let's talk about these 7 streams of income. So the first and foremost stream of income that you already have, the easiest to obtain, is your J-O-B, shawty. All right, your J-O-B. A lot of people do not consider their salary as part of one of their 7 streams of income. It's your earned income. Now, if you are a person who's already running a business or you're a freelancer or any of that type of thing, that's still your earned income. That's still considered what your salary would be. What it is you physically trading your time for money. Okay, that's the bottom line. And it doesn't matter if you charge by the hour or by the project, right? It doesn't matter if you get paid a salary, unlimited, or if you get paid by the hour from a company. You are trading your time for the dollars. And so that is what equals your earned income. This is the first one, right? And a lot of people want to knock that. I was one of those people like, oh my God, I gotta get the fuck out of here. Like days paid, blah, 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 blah. But if I knew what to do with my salary and what to invest it in, then shit would be real different. But that's okay. You know why? Because I was the guinea pig, all right? I did this so I can come back and tell you guys about it. So now you get to follow me into my transition and watch me work this salary, okay? All right, so that's the first one. The second one is profit. So what's profit? All right, when we think about profit, our profit is simply the money that we make off of something we create. Okay, so like a product. Okay, it could be a digital product. It could be a shirt, right? Like from a clothing line. It could be jewelry. It could even be something that it's just something that you're selling. I don't want to make this too complicated. It's a product, and it could be a digital product. It could be a book. It could be something you download, but it's something that you're selling. Okay. And it's something that you're selling over and over again. So after the expenses are taken care of, the profit that you make after that. All right. Now, I want to give you an example because I want you guys to stay with me, and I don't want to make this too long. I'm trying to keep this under 10 minutes, and let me get a move on. But if you own a company and you have a team of people who do the service that you offer, after you pay your team, after you cover your overhead expenses, that money left over is your profit. But if you're the person in the business doing all the work, that is your earned income. You see the difference? So if you're not physically, if you're making money and you're selling a service or a product and you're not the one doing the work, then that's your profit. All right, so that would be the second form of or stream of income. Okay, so listen, take notes. Hustle smarter. You got your salary. Now what can you create? What can you sell for profit? All right, so let's talk about the third one. So the third one are dividends. okay? And dividends come when you're a shareholder in something, okay? So if you've ever had a company or a friend that you invested in, and they are running the business, they are operating the business, they are doing the dang thing, and you're getting quarterly earnings, those are your dividends. All right. If you invest in a crowd fund thing, if you do peer-to-peer lending, like have you ever, I think it's called Lending Tree. I can't remember. I really should know that, but I'm gonna drop if the right thing in the link, right? So if you do peer-to-peer lending, or you invest in something where you are not doing the actual work, it's not necessarily your idea or your conception or whatever, but somebody said, hey, if you invest in this, I'm going to give you a part of the profits. That's dividends. All right. So that's 3. All right, then let's talk about interest. I love interest. Interest is amazing. All right, but you know what? Let me back up just a little bit on dividends, because dividends are any type of investment. So it's also stocks, and I feel like I left that part out. And I feel like I need to do a whole video on stocks alone, because I love stocks, even though right now it's royally me up the rear. But stocks are amazing because you put it in, you choose what you want, you watch it go up and down. It's a little volatile, but it's for the long run, and I have made plenty of money. And I'm going to share my favorite app for investments in the links as well, because I personally use Stash, which is one that I love, basically because, one, it's in layman's terms, you can understand it even if you've never invested, and then you learn as you go, so that when you are ready to take your little money, your little stacks, and play with the big leagues, you know what the fuck you're doing. Like, you can get it, right? So I'm gonna do a whole nother video on that, because I really want to share you guys that progress I've been doing too. All right, so interest happens when you have made money off of something over a predetermined amount of time. Okay, so if you know for a fact you gain 3% interest off of your savings over the course of a year. I don't even think it's that high. I think it's like 0.3% or something stupid, which is why I don't really do the whole savings thing. We'll talk about that later. But the interest is going to happen over the course of time, right? So very similar to dividends, and I know you're probably like, it's very similar to dividends, but when you think of interest, this is like if you gave somebody a loan. So the difference between the dividends, where you invest in a company, you don't expect to get that money back plus interest. You're just going to get a portion of the profits. Where you might give somebody a loan, like when the bank gives you one, and over 5 years they say you're going to pay back this amount of money per month for 5 years. At the end of that, they have earned a certain amount of money off of that loan, okay? And so that is going to be what their interest is, right? And so the same would happen for you. So if you gave somebody some money and you're supposed to realize the funds right after a year or 5 years or whatever, that will be interest, right? So that's another stream of income. Now let's talk about capital gains. So capital gains would be if you sold something, right? And then you got the profits from that. So if you have investments, right? And you sold those investments, and now you're not getting the quarterly revenue from that. Instead, you just said, hey, you know what? I'm done with this. I don't want this anymore. I'm gonna sell this house. I'm gonna sell this stock. I'm gonna sell this business. Okay? And then you get profit from that. That is capital gains. So if you initially, invested $100 and you got back $500, then $400 would be your capital gains. If you initially bought the house for $20,000, but you sold it for $100,000, that is now your capital gains. All right. So you got a business that you grew, and then you sold the business for $3 million. Over the course of that time, you put in, $500,000 or something, right? Now the business is worth this much, $300 million, and what you get back, that's your capital gains. I think I said $3 million the first time, but I feel like y'all should understand where I'm going with this, so don't come for me, okay? Now, rental properties is another form of income, I'm sorry, not rental properties, but rentals in general. And so what do I mean by this? Because you could be renting a house, you could be renting commercial property, you could be renting equipment, you could be renting, say you're an event coordinator and you have these pre-set up event things, these pre-event setups, right? And so people can rent those from you. That will be a rental as well. And that is probably not as significant as rental property or rental equipment or something like that, but it's the same concept, right? People are renting something from you. You're making money off of this item over and over again, the same items, okay? So renting. And then the last stream is actually royalties. So that's going to come from something that you have created and other people are selling or using on your behalf, and they are either paying you to use it or they are giving you profit. They're paying you to use your licensure, right? To sell your product, right? So this could come from lots of things. One of those things could be like a franchise or a trademark or a patent, or if you're an artist or a writer, like a copywriter. If you're an artist that created a beautiful piece of art that everybody loves, and then you sell it on Etsy, and then you use digital prints to sell it, those are royalties, right? If people copy that and say, hey, can I pay you for this? So this is something that is intellectual property, trademark, patents, all these things, but other people are now paying you to use it for their gain, okay? So that's how that works. That will be the royalty. So I think I've covered them all. Let's just do it one more time. Your salary, which is your earned income, right? Your profits, which is what you make off of something that you have created. Dividends are when you've invested as a stakeholder into something and you are gaining earnings off of that continually, right? Interest is the money you make off of something that you have invested over a predetermined amount of time. I don't know why I'm struggling with that, right? Capital gains, right? Capital gains is after you have sold the investment or the property or the thing, and then you make the money afterwards. You have your rentals, right? Your rentals is something you're using over and over and over again, but you're still making money off of it. And then your royalties are something that people are paying you to use your name, your trademark, your licensure, or whatever, right? So a lot of times that comes with intellectual property or logos or things like that, right? So a good example of that would be a franchise, or even like if you've ever heard of CrossFit. Whenever people use CrossFit name, they have to pay gym glass in order to use that, right? So those are royalties. So those are the 7 streams of income. Now, in the upcoming videos, I'm going to touch on some of these things and give you some examples of how you can use these and how you can leverage these streams of income while you are working. You dig? All right. Got any questions? Post it in the comments. I would love to chat with you. Don't forget to subscribe, share my shit, and make sure you ding that bell so that you know every time I pop up in your life. All right, girls. This is